Hey guys, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 1 of Darker with Daniel. We're super stoked to be back here. We're coming to you from Rockmill Industries. Super stoked about that, and we're excited to get going. All right, it's really exciting to be back, guys. Season 2, Episode 1 here. As always, we have Alan. Say what up.
What up?
And Chris back there running everything. We are super stoked about this opportunity. Episode 1, we just want to talk about, moving forward into Season 2. Obviously, we're on video now.
You can see us.
You can see us. And we're super stoked about it. And we just kind of want to talk about how we put a lot of time and effort and work into this. And it's really been an exciting road. I don't know if you have anything you want to say.
Dude, it's just mind-blowing. I mean, this all happened so quickly. I mean, I was on for the first time, 3 months ago, maybe?
Yeah.
4 months. And then it was just like, this all took off, and we did that one awesome interview with Logan, and it just turned into this, and now, here we are on video.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it's been a hell of a ride, for sure. It's been hell of a busy holiday season for us, too. I mean, how many things did we do over the holiday breaks?
I don't know, but over the holidays, it was just, we were so busy back and forth trying to, we built this table, which is awesome. We wanted to build something that was custom to us that would fit what we want to do.
Yep.
So that was honestly the best option. I mean, it's the perfect setup, and I mean,
it just looks awesome.
It
too.
Does.
It turned out great. I'm real proud of us. I'm gonna be honest. I knew we would do good, but I didn't think we would do this good, and it's awesome. You can't find this shit at IKEA. You just can't.
You can't, exactly. And it was actually a lot easier to put together than something from IKEA.
It definitely was way easier than putting something together from IKEA.
It was a lot of work, though.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of work building it. Building it was about as much work as it takes to buy something from IKEA and put it together.
Transporting it was pretty interesting, too. Chris, do you remember what it was like transporting the supplies from Lowe's back to your shop so we could start building?
Yeah.
Do you remember a brilliant idea that we heard from a certain someone that may or may not also host this show?
Doesn't ring any bells.
Just put it up against the window.
Yeah, so just a little context for everyone at home. We're putting all the supplies in the back of the bed of Danny's truck. This is his truck. So he should know a lot about it, right, Danny? No. So we put the stuff in, and he's like, guys, well, is it going to fly out? And me and Chris are like, no, we're going to prop it up on the tailgate. Danny looks at us all serious, with all seriousness, and is like, why don't you guys prop it up, against the window? The rear view window, mind you, the only rear view window that is on this pickup truck. And
It'll be better than the back.
Yeah, it'd be better than the tailgate. And we're just like, Danny, no, that's never a good idea. You should never, ever do that.
To be fair, all right, one, it was a bad week. Second, Chris told me to put everything in with the tailgate down initially and just leave it like that.
Well,
yeah,
because I was
because
trying to make it flat,
So we can just lay
But
it in there.
it
And then we
would've-
lift it up, and
I
then we
didn't-
close the tailgate.
I thought you meant leave the tailgate down. I'm like, why the fuck would we do that?
Oh, no. I guess
yeah.
that makes more sense now then.
Yeah, that's exactly. I've been trying to literally explain this to you guys ever since the event, and y'all just fucking cut me off every single time, and I'm like, and here we are. Sorry, I shouldn't have slammed that. But yeah, sorry about that. But that just goes to show how much time and effort we had been putting into this.
Oh my
I was
God, yeah.
so exhausted and just brain dead that I just literally nothing made sense. And then I started fucking with you guys. I was like, hey, should I put this cigarette out in this bucket of oil right
Oh
here?
my God, Chris, that was great. I looked at Danny with all seriousness. I was like, you're not serious, are you? No, that's the last place you should put a cigarette butt, ever.
I was like, nah, I'm just joshing.
I couldn't tell because oh my God, it was, I think, hands down, my favorite experience out of just building the table was so for context, we're putting the frame on underneath the table and we're screwing everything in and we're putting support screws, down the length of the table. So we already have the two corners put in and to make a straight line so we know we're going on the same thing. We put a tape measure down.
Oh God.
And I said, Danny, I'm on one end and Danny's on the other. He has the actual end of the tape measure. And I said, Danny, can you line up the edge of the tape measure with the middle of the screw? So he first covers the screw with the tape measure. And I was like, no, Danny, the edge. Then Danny proceeds to lift the silver clip off the edge of the table and then sit that clip onto the screw. And I was like, Danny, the edge of the tape measure. And he goes, oh, why didn't you say at the beginning? Chris, out of nowhere, was like, that's literally what he fucking said the first time.
You should have said the side. I don't know.
It was great.
It didn't register in my mind.
I laughed so fucking hard when that happened.
You know what else? No, what made me laugh was when none of you guys could do any fucking fractions, and I had to do all the fractions for you. That was fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we could. We were slower at them.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna front. I'm real bad at fractions.
Yeah, I mean, like, as long as we're not going down in like 16ths and eighths of an inch, like quarters and halves, are pretty simple.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I don't. You just round up or you round down. That's what I do.
I remember whenever we were building this, because this is you can't see you can't see it. This is a high table. It's high, and it's about 40 inches off the ground. And at one point, somebody was like, "Why don't we do like 40 and a half inches?" And I was like, "Why don't we just do 40?"
Yeah. 'Cause what was the half inch gonna do? Man, I really wish I had that other half inch of room. I tell you what, because I'm super uncomfortable.
I mean, like, I think every guy would always, like to have an extra half an inch, but
That's a valid point.
yeah, but
Wow, that got real personal here real quick because I just I mean I'm fine. I'm huge.
well endowed.
Oh, you know, wow, yeah, whole 3 inches.
What blows my mind is we are about 3 minutes into this first episode, and Alan, you've already talked about your penis, so that's neat.
Look, I'm real proud of it. Okay, it's a real strong, real girthy 3 inches.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to give it your all, but no, sorry, not to get off track. Yeah, we put a lot of time and effort into this. I mean, the setup right now, I'm not sure what all you guys can see from Chris's camera angle, but there's a lot going on over there. And we're just really excited to be in video now and kind of being able to engage and, just kind of engage with you guys more, have you just see exactly what's going on, so that way you're not just listening for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, if you're on the road or something like that, you listen to them in the car, which a lot of people do. I know I do all the time, so you won't see that, but there's going to be visual aspects and whatnot. It's just a little bit more fun, I think, to watch it than to listen to.
Oh, for sure. When I can watch the podcast, I definitely do, like 100%. Anytime that's available, that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and with my job being on the road all the time, it is nice to have the option to listen to it, but like the blue moon, I get like some free time on the weekend, on a Saturday afternoon when I like clean my entire house, and when it's finally time to sit down and relax, there's nothing better than like putting a podcast on with a visual representation and just sitting there and relaxing, because it's like it's not too heavy on the brain, but it's just enough to keep you intrigued,
just enough to lull you off to sleep, because that's what happens to me every time. And then I'm like, shit, well, I guess I got to pick this up on the audio version on the car ride to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that does happen a lot to you too, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty, actually. So guys, don't do that to us. I'm just kidding. If that happens, that's fine. We understand. We get it. We're all human.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's crazy. I mean, we had that interview with Logan, and it led to us like being here now. And I mean, just the amount of help and the amount of support we've gotten from Rockmill Industries, the entire crew, like as a whole, is just insanity. I mean, we were welcomed here with like open arms.
Yep.
They were just as excited about the project as we were, and I think we have a really good thing going here. And I'm just really excited to see where we end up taking everyone with us. I'm excited to see the journey that we lay out for everyone.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about that too. Just like I said, or I'm sorry, like you said, everybody just inviting us in here, just like you said, with open arms, super friendly. They're all super excited about it just as much as we are. And it's just an awesome experience. It's an awesome opportunity that I could never, thank Logan enough for this, or the guys here at Rockmill, just to have us here in this space. It's really bringing us forward, and I'm more than happy, more than stoked about it. This is just something that I'm really excited moving forward in other episodes, that this is just going to turn into something absolutely, absolutely beautiful here.
Hell yeah.
And just to be a part of, or at least somewhat of a part of the Rockmill crew, that's just an honor, honestly.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, and if any of you guys don't know about Rockmill Industries is just it's its own beast. Like, I mean, they have recording studios. They have the studio that we're in right now. They do T-shirt printing, press like t-shirt pressing, memorabilia pressing and branding, embroidery.
Yeah.
They do everything. Photography, film.
Yeah.
Like if you are in any kind of multimedia service need, Rockmill Industries has you covered.
Yeah.
Like it's a one-stop shop in one building, and it's crazy. And everyone here is super down to earth and so cool.
The nicest people ever.
Nicest people.
And it's only growing. It's growing like crazy. They have more and more every time that I come here.
Yeah, literally every single time I come here, they're working on something new. And
Dude,
still,
every time I open Facebook, I'll see something pop up, and they're like, "Oh, I have a brand new thing," and I'm like, "Good God! Like you just did something brand new like yesterday."
Exactly.
It's insane how fast they're growing.
That's what I love about them is because no project is too big for them.
No.
You know, they're always willing to take on a challenge or do something. And that's what we think is, honestly, that's what I think is the coolest thing about Rock Mills. And they're not afraid of a single thing.
No, they're not. And that it is. It's very admirable. It's cool. And they do a lot. If you have kids that like want to learn how to play instruments and stuff like that, they do lessons here. For drums. What is it? Drums, Chris? Is it guitar too?
Drums, guitar, pretty much everything.
Everything.
They have some kind of teacher coming
To be perfectly honest with you, if it's an instrument that they probably don't already have lessons for, come in and talk to them. I'm sure they can figure it out and they'll get something worked out for you.
And honestly, guys, I mean, if you are in the like local Harrisburg, Mechanicsburg area, please come and check them out. They're awesome guys. You know, if you need anything screen printed or just printed in general, I mean, they do it all here. So if you want to support us, please support them. And, you know, I'm sure it will come back around in the best way,
for sure.
You know.
But yeah, dude, man, season 2.
Yeah,
episode 1.
I never actually thought we'd make it to season 2, and yet here we are.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
better than ever.
And better than ever. I mean, like, it's just this whole room is so crazy. I mean, Chris, you did a fucking fantastic job with everything.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, let's take a moment here and talk about all
Let's
the
talk
work
about
that
the man
Chris
behind
did.
the screen. Yeah, like Chris. This was all Chris.
It primarily was.
Yeah.
I mean, we did some heavy lifting, and we were there for moral and emotional support. You know, when Chris was at
Comedic
times,
relief.
you know, in the fetal position, rocking, sobbing in the corner of his workshop because it was just so much of an undertaking. You know, we rubbed his back, and we were like, "You got this, bud." And you know what? Here we are.
Sometimes you got to suck some back and scratch some dick, right?
Right?
I told you guys, just trust me, it'll work.
And you know what? We
didn't.
We did it. We fought it. We fought it
with
tooth
Chris
and
so
nail
much.
every time, and then he would just prove us right or prove us wrong, prove himself right, and it was just like, fuck. Like why? Why didn't we just trust him? It would have been so much easier and so much less time.
It would have been. And we're sorry for that, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris.
I mean,
okay.
I think
I'm
we've
not
all
that
just been a
mad
little bit
about it.
stressed. I think we've all just been really stressed too. Chris called me when I was on the way over here. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, just about to have a fucking mental breakdown." It was just going off on the phone.
Oh my God, dude, I was so stressed out like these past couple months. Like, just I mean, we all have full-time jobs then too,
Yep.
and then just everything else. It was like for these past couple months, just to paint the picture, everyone like. The moment we were done with work, like doing our full-time jobs, the things that actually required our attention, all of our free time was essentially dedicated to what do we got to do next? What's the next project we have to do? What do we have to buy? All that kind of stuff. And it was just meetings. It was buying utensils or buying supplies, buying equipment, putting the equipment together, or literally just building the things out of raw materials. And it's just like, it's nice that, it's done. It's here. We can kind of breathe again now and just really focus on, the content of everything.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, how many nights? I mean, last Friday we didn't even get out of here till midnight.
Yeah.
it was crazy.
And what time? We started at what, like 4? Was it 4 or 5?
No, it was 5. It was like 5.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that late, but we were here till late. Like it took forever. We're just running wires and just, man, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot because it doesn't sound that crazy, but when you work a full-time job, you get done work, you run home, you get changed, and you run back out, and then you're not back home again until midnight. I'm sorry, you're not even on your way back home again
until midnight. Yeah.
You get home and you're just like,
and you got to be up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, oh sweet, I wanted 4.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
that's what I live off of.
Right. It's crazy. I mean, there's no better feeling than taking your shoes off after that long of a day. But oh my God,
no, there's one feeling that's better. when my head finally hits the pillow. That is the best feeling ever.
Yeah,
when you can finally, you're just like, I'm actually in bed, and then you're just knocked, like, and you're done. You're out for the count.
That was me last night. I mean, we had a meeting last night. You guys met me at my house at 7:00. We probably started our meeting around like 7:30 and went until 10:30 last night. You know, and I was out. Those guys walked out. I locked the door behind them, and I went straight to bed and passed out.
But that was a productive meeting. I mean, fuck what we Skyped with a potential like future guest. I mean, we looked at we talked and just screened a couple other future guests. Talked about some content. Like it was productive. But I mean, it's just like, I mean, for anyone that's like thinking about doing something like this, or if someone has like the desire to do something like this, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to, because it's an awesome experience. Like it's such a cool thing to be able to do what we do and have the opportunity that we have. But like, do not underestimate how much work it's going to take. Like, especially if you try to do something like this on your own. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. There's no way I could have like handled a beast like this all on my own. No. There's just no way. Like,
you and I couldn't have even handled it. Like, I mean, back to Chris again.
The brains and the brawn.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's insane. But if you want to do it right, you have to do it right. And that's the way we took a look at this, because we're like, yeah, we want to do this for fun. And then we're like, well, if we're going to do this for fun, it might as well be good. Yep. You know, might as well have people listen to it. And then this is the product of that, basically.
There's no shortcuts when it comes to this, because you're going to obviously see the shortcuts on the back end then after everything's done. And so we were just like, all right, fuck it, we're doing it for real. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
and that's it. Yeah. And here we are. Well, it's not live.
It's not live, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, but it's cool though. Man.
Yeah. No, and I mean, moving forward, just so you guys have an idea of what to expect, I mean, we're going to have some guests coming up here in future episodes. Really, our plan is to book a guest for every week.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And have them on here. It's going to be a mix of a lot of different people. You know?
Oh, yeah. We're all over the board.
Yeah. I mean, anywhere from people with, working in a profession, to having a special talent, to just having common knowledge on something current, just anything. It's not going to be just anybody. We're going to make sure to provide quality content for you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're not going to waste anyone's time.
Yeah, exactly.
Let alone our own.
Yeah. We just kind of want to take this this first episode here of season 2 to kind of announce that, hey, we're in the actual studio now. We have this awesome table we built, and we're really excited to bring you guys new awesome things.
Exactly. Kind of just paint the picture of paint the map for where we're gonna go now for everyone.
Paint the picture.
Paint the picture.
Well, it's like we didn't do all this. We didn't do all this work for nothing too. It's like
no, not at all.
We've invested this much. There's no fucking giving up now.
Yeah, no. If we give up now, fuck. We literally just took money and threw it in a toilet, flushed it, and just watched it go away forever. So yeah, there's no
time.
All that time, all that effort, all that money.
Somebody just the other day was telling me that their kid literally grabbed their wallet, took all the cash out of it, and flushed it down the toilet. I can't remember who it was. Somebody told me it was like somebody legitimate, like they weren't lying to me. That's yeah. I
have a strict no hitting
children non-legitimate policy, people do you talk to?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean they were a legitimate person?
Like, it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't something I heard on TV or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's like someone you personally knew.
Yeah, exactly.
And their kid took all their money out.
Yeah, it was only like $60, and it wasn't like it took $300 and flush it down the toilet.
That's why I don't carry cash, man. No,
you never know when a kid's gonna grab it and flush it down the toilet.
You never know when a kid's gonna do fucking anything. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I have a lot of friends that are parents and stuff like that, and it's just it's so incredible, how creative parents have to be to kind of trick their kids. Because it just comes down to even just simple pleasures. I don't know, my friend, I have a friend that I talk to, and she has a kid, and her kid will always want what she has, and she finally got some cheesecake, and she just wants to enjoy her cheesecake. The kid comes, Mom, can I have some? And she's like, No, you would hate this. It's so spicy. And it's how do you think of shit like that off the top of your head?
Yeah, that's
or
a good point.
they'll hide they'll hide sleeves of Oreos like the cookies that they want to enjoy too. They'll hide it in something that they know a kid would like never want to fucking touch. Like I don't know,
broccoli.
Yeah, exactly. like in the, so like Girl Scout cookies. They'll take sleeves of Girl Scout cookies and they'll put it in the freezer, like in a bag of broccoli.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I would have never thought to do that.
Yeah, I have what shit. I don't know. Five nieces and nephews now. I've been an uncle since I was 4. So I've been.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been around kids like my entire life. So I've gone through all that, and it's crazy. I mean, like, you have to barter with 2-year-olds all the time.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I practically raised my 2 younger brothers, but the difference is that I was also growing up. Like I was like, from the age of 9 to the point that I was 17, so I was still like a kid. But like, you're not wrong. You definitely do have to barter with those kids,
Oh, yeah, especially get them to eat. Oh my god.
Also, the bottom line is if you're an older sibling and you've never chased your younger sibling around with a knife or something, just because it sounds crazy, but like a knife or just anything, because you're not going to hurt them, but they're so young, they're so innocent, and literally all you do is you'll be like, hey, bud. And then there's like, no! And they just fucking run. And that's all you have to do. And then you're just like, and it just makes you laugh.
Alan, I'm the youngest of 5. None of my older siblings have done that. You might want to go talk to somebody about that.
No, it's fine. Or, okay, how many times has this situation happened where you and your older sibling are fucking around and either you or the older sibling gets hurt really bad, and then you do the whole, shh, no, it's really not that bad. Shh, don't tell mom. Yep. Don't tell mom. Like, I have so many scenarios.
My older brother, his thing was always either I tell mom or I kick your ass. So it just depended on the thing.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, yeah. I never gave my brothers that option.
Yeah.
I should have though, because I would have loved to have kicked their ass.
Yeah, I got my ass beat a couple times, but then I grew up.
Yeah.
Now I'm a lot bigger than.
No, I mean I've always loved my little brothers, and they're hella smart now. But like, I mean, my middle brother, there's no way I'm tricking him now. Oh. No way. He's way smarter than I am for sure. My youngest brother, he could still surpass me, but he's only 16, so eat shit, bud. Love you.
Oh my god. So back to I mean, so we're just really excited to bring this all back and have have this platform back here where we can bring great content to you guys with just different guests and kind of just talk about different things, maybe expand our own minds a little bit. Yeah, I think it would be a good goal to maybe try to learn something every week, every episode. Have somebody come on and teach us something that we didn't know.
I'm into that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I got your fun fact for this episode then. What's the one thing that can kill you but also bring you back from the dead?
Oh, there's things.
It's called an AED.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Did I just kill your joke?
No. What does the AED do?
Shock you?
Yeah, it's electricity. Electricity is the only thing that can kill you but also bring you back to life.
I don't know. What about CPR? Because that can bring you back to life.
When was the last time CPR killed anyone?
Yeah, can that really kill you though?
Oh. Yeah, I guess I did forget about that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you CPR'd them hard enough the first time, you might be able to.
Are you having trouble breathing? No, I'm fine, actually.
Didn't Family Guy do an episode of that?
Staying alive.
Was that a Family Guy episode or something?
I don't remember, actually. It's been so long since I've seen that show.
Oh, my God. Did you see that? The fucking Snapchat of the guy like on the CPR dummy and he's not doing anything. He just slaps it across the face.
No, I've not seen that one.
That was a good one.
But yeah, it's electricity. Fun fact for the episode. Electricity is the one thing that can absolutely kill you, but then at the same time bring you back.
Well, we learned something this episode, Chris. Thank you for that, Alan.
You're very welcome.
Ooh.
Just a plethora of useless knowledge.
God bless you.
It's the only one that will.
I never said what God.
All of them. Fuck
it. Zeus bless you.
God, please.
Fucking Zeus bless you, Alan.
Yeah, can I be a demigod now?
And that fucking mustache.
It's a great mustache. I'm ready for all the comments.
Yeah.
On everything for this mustache. I'm ready to get absolutely roasted.
Mustache.
Tweet Alan at Alan's mustache. No, I'm kidding.
No, do it because that handle doesn't even exist.
So, do you know that for sure?
If it does, it's not mine, so it doesn't bother me.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Chris, do you have anything you want to put in about the table or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, We got to pour epoxy on it. That
Yeah.
was pretty
That
cool.
was sick,
Never did
actually.
that before.
Yeah, we haven't actually. That was really, really neat.
It was also really annoying at the same time. It was cool,
It was a learning experience.
but yeah, definitely a learning experience.
Yeah,
That shit moves so fucking slow. Like,
it does.
I'm not gonna say, man, you're moving slower than molasses. I'm gonna be like, yo, you're moving slower than epoxy.
It's like watching two old people fuck. It's bad. Yeah.
I don't want to know, Danny. I've never. I don't.
I've never
just-
actually seen two old people fuck. I don't know, and unless I looked in the mirror, but not that old either.
I
so
just got
don't know.
even more confused than I originally was at the beginning.
We're gonna cut this.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah. I was really hoping one of you
No,
guys would like
we're
just
leaving
take
it
that,
in.
and I'm like,
we're
all right, just
definitely leaving that in.
Oh, God damn it.
Yes. Well,
All right,
this
well,
is a great first
Yeah.
start.
Hey, all right, guys, let's take a little break here, and we will be right back. You guys have seen the news. What do you think about that new the raising the age to 21 on the cigarettes and nicotine?
Is the 21-year age for vape products as well, just entirely?
I think it's all like nicotine tobacco.
All
product.
nicotine-based
'cause
things.
They've roped vaping in with tobacco.
Okay.
products, yeah.
Well, I mean, it will make sense because they both have the nicotine.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know why they call it tobacco products when you could just use nicotine products.
it really makes more sense. I
Yeah.
agree. But I mean, for my opinion on it, I think, and this is strictly my opinion, I think the 21-year age increase, I think it's just another way to generate revenue by having probable cause searches, honestly. Because, I mean, we just got rid of that law where having the smell of marijuana in a vehicle isn't enough to probe for probable search.
That's
a probable search.
From what I understand, that's only if you have a medical card, though.
No.
Really?
In general, yeah. Just the
really?
smell of marijuana is not enough to warrant probable search or probable cause for a search. So I think that's just, I think they were just like, we're going to take this away. And we had like that little break where people were like, yeah, cool, that's awesome. And we're like, and now we're replacing it with this because it's like, okay, cool. You have a car full of high school kids and the car reeks of cigarettes. And they're going to be like, wow, you guys are pretty young. Y'all smoking cigarettes? And it's like, and that there's nothing that says, the smell of cigarettes isn't enough probable cause to search for someone that is of underage to now be smoking cigarettes. It's like, I think it's crazy, but I also think it's not going to, for like the way they're broadcasting it, like it's going to help deter. Bro, we had people got cigarettes before you were 18, like all the time anyway. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. Like there's
No,
there's no new safeguards that are put in there. You literally just increase the age and there's going to be people that do it.
Yeah, I mean, like I started smoking cigarettes when I was 15.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's always got that older brother or that
Older friend.
that
Yep.
senior in high school.
Yep.
Turned 18 early. That always bought cigarettes for everybody. And here's the thing: they're saying that they're raising the age to 21 to stop kids from smoking cigarettes. How does that? It doesn't. Like
It doesn't.
They're
it's
still
already-
going to find a way to get 'em.
Exactly,
I mean,
that's-
it's not right, but they will.
Yeah.
And I don't. And to be clear, I do not condone smoking cigarettes.
No, they're-
As somebody
they're
who smoked
terrible.
almost my entire life. Like, well, I guess
I started smoking when I was 21, so it's been like 9
You're
years
an
now.
idiot. Why'd you start at 21?
Dude, honestly, it all started off like a random fluke thing. I was talking to this girl. We were like hanging, like it was
That's
like
how
one
it
of our
always
first.
goes. That's how it always goes.
We were talking for like a week, and we were going to hang out with my buddy Anthony up at his family's cabin, and we knew we were going to go up there and drink the entire weekend. And she was coming with, and she was like, "Hey, do you mind if we stop to buy a pack of cigarettes? I smoke when I drink." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure. Like I don't care. That's fine." So we stopped, got the cigarettes. We got up there, and she got like super sick, like immediately, like spent like the entire weekend like in bed. But
God.
she was like, go drink with your friends. Like it's just a cabin. Like we're not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
She's like, just go out there in the living room, drink with your friends, have fun. And I got pretty drunk, and I was like, oh, like what are these cigarettes about? And I'll never forget, they were Camel Crushes, and I was like, I crushed one, and I smelled. I was like, wow, like I'm not coughing like an idiot. Like this is pretty cool. It's pretty nice. Ripped that entire pack that night, and it was game over. Like from that point on, I was hooked.
Oh my God.
So I don't smoke cigarettes anymore now. Like I am on like, I don't want to call it the vape train, but like I am. Like I would
hurts to
much.
admit it.
It does. It does hurt to admit it because like I agree with everyone. You look douchey. No one wants a fucking cloud in their face, but you know what? I hate smelling like an ashtray.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate that smell, that taste. The smell stays on your fingers.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
regardless of all that, though, the main problem that I have with raising the legal age to cigarettes, for cigarettes or anything like that, to 18 is like, again, this is another thing that we raised the age on, but we haven't raised the age on when you can join the military.
Yeah.
Now, I play both sides of that. First off, if you're 18 years old and you are old enough to join the military and go across seas, this is coming from someone that's serving in the military. I'm an active duty Air Force. If you are old enough to go overseas and die for your country, you are old enough to A, have a fucking beer, and B, smoke a goddamn cigarette if you want. Because, to be perfectly honest, it's not a fucking cakewalk being in the military, depending on where you're stationed and what branch you're in.
I agree to a certain extent. I think the legal age to smoke cigarettes should be 21. I'm a firm believer that the legal age to drink should be, the smoking age should be 18 and the drinking age should be 21.
Agreed.
There is a huge difference between 18 and 21 years old.
And that's what I'm saying, because I don't think we should increase the age of when you can join the military to 21, because that's 3 years, and some people, they're not built for college. They just don't want to go to college. They don't want to do anything. And some people, that's what they've wanted to do their entire lives because they come from a military family. Yeah. So like, there's no reason to make those people wait. But it's a simple fix, and this is just my opinion. Bottom line, you join the military, you get a CAC ID, the CAC card, Geneva Convention identification card. And if you can present that at a bar or at a store, guess what? You can buy a fucking pack of cigarettes or you can get a beer. It's just that simple. And I get it. I get how crazy 18-year-olds can be, and I understand that. But it really does boil down to, though, like, at the same time, if that person can be given a rifle, dropped off in the middle of the desert, and be essentially introduced to PTSD situations or inducing situations, like, I'm sorry, if that person decides they want to have a cigarette or that person decides they want to have a beer, you have really no fucking right to tell them that they can't.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The only thing I have a hard time with is, and I mean, maybe like in a certain weird way, I think it would be okay. I mean, I'm not going to sit here on my high horse and act like I didn't fucking drink when I was 18 years old. I don't give a fuck. I'll put that out there.
I waited till I was 21.
Did you? Yeah, I see. I don't know. I was a rowdy kid growing up. Oh, actually, no. All right, look. To go back to the cigarettes thing, how I started smoking was I was 15 years old. And same thing, I was talking to some girl, and I was like a straight edge, goody two-shoes kid.
Oh, same.
Went to youth group every Wednesday or whatever.
I was a youth leader for my youth group. Yep.
Yeah, I was just a straight edge kid. Everybody called me Straight Edge Danny. That was my nickname because I didn't.
I actually think I might have heard people call you that before, like way back when.
I'll still hear it once in a blue moon. Somebody will say it as a joke. A few people. And
Chris, can you confirm this? Straight Edge Danny?
No, I didn't really know Chris back then.
I knew him a little bit after
I met Chris
that.
when I was like 17, 18.
Yeah, it was a little bit past that.
All right. I guess I trust you. I'm just kidding. I know I've heard the name, actually.
Yeah. But anyways, so I was talking to some girl and I was trying to impress her, so I like smoked a cigarette and I was like, oh, that wasn't bad. And next thing I know, I'm
my
smoking
God,
cigarettes.
that's the worst reason.
I know. I know.
And the worst part is, again, I'm not even making fun of you. The worst part about that is then like now that we're at the age that we're at, we personally recognize how fucking stupid that thought process is, like at that age where you're like, oh yeah, that looks cool. No, the fuck it doesn't.
That's the thing. I've roasted people, like everybody I know who's been like, oh, I didn't start smoking cigarettes till I was 18. I said it to you. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, you should know better by then. It's a bad idea.
It was. I was like, oh, like it'll be fine, and then just nope. And really, I think it wasn't even just that night that I smoked that entire pack that got me. It was. I realized when I first started smoking that when I would smoke a cigarette, it would make me so tired. And I had problems sleeping back when I was that age. It's same thing for like a lot of people. They like have trouble sleeping, so they smoke marijuana. Yeah. But I mean, I didn't ever smoke marijuana for that reason. But when I started smoking cigarettes, I was like, man, like I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to knock out. So I got in this habit of like every night before I would go to bed, I would, pull out a cigarette, just fucking woof that thing
Smoky
down.
Boy.
Yeah, just smoke it down. And I was just like, I would literally just walk from the door, because at this point I was living, my bedroom was the basement for my parents' townhouse. And I had a door that went right out the back of the basement, right outside. So just stand outside there, smoke the cigarette, flick it, come inside, walk 10 feet, and just drop on my bed, and I was gone. And from doing that just over and over again, I was like, oh, well, like, maybe I could have a cigarette when I wake up in the morning. Oh, like, having a cigarette on the way to work wouldn't be the worst idea. And then you're just fucking down the rabbit hole, bud. Like, and you're done, and your nicotine's bitch. And it's like, I've tried quitting a couple times, I did successfully quit the first time. Like, it's, if you thought I was stupid then, I'm stupid now. I actually quit. I was done. I hadn't had like any kind of nicotine for like 3-4 months. Didn't even think about it. And then I got a new job. And the job was like, oh yeah, we actively give more frequent and longer breaks to smokers. And I was like, well then, let me go down to the gas station real quick. And I literally started smoking again.
When I was in the car business, I smoked a lot because it just broke up the day. So, I mean, I would burn through a pack of cigarettes in a day easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd buy a pack on the way and buy a pack on my way home. You know? It was crazy. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's back to the raising the age. Like I said, I think you should be 21 to drink, 21 or 18 to smoke cigarettes. And I agree with you in the military thing. It's a little bit different. If you can die for your country, you should be able to have a beer for your country to a certain extent. But I still...
It doesn't give you the excuse to act like a drunken asshole.
Exactly.
Like, the bottom line is, when you go through the military, and a lot of people that do go through the military, they don't always, embrace their core values whenever they're, super drunk. But I mean, you're always supposed to present yourself in a professional manner in uniform and outside uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be able to hold yourself to that standard. Now, if you can't and you don't, you should be reprimanded for sure.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, and I agree with you. Like, I don't condone smoking. I don't think anyone should ever start smoking. And if you haven't, please, for the love of God, don't. It's the hardest thing to kick.
It really is. It's tough because like you start associating with other things like smoking a cigarette after you eat, smoking a cigarette on your way to work,
or just drinking. That's the worst.
Yeah,
drinking.
That is the hardest part.
You just want to have a cigarette, then they just pair so well, alcohol and nicotine.
Yep.
But no, I agree with you. I think 21, definitely the drinking age.
See, it's also like and to take it to one step further, I think it is in a certain way infringing on your rights a little bit.
Please. Yeah, I'm interested to hear what you have to say about that.
Think about it this way: 18. It's across the board the age of consent in America.
You're legally an adult.
Yeah, you're legally an adult. You can go out, you can get a tattoo, you can get a sex change, you can do whatever the hell you want with your body at 18 years old.
Rent a car.
Yeah, that's true.
25 years old.
Is it 25 or 26?
25.
It shouldn't be that way.
What?
I'll be able to rent a
So
car.
that shouldn't be that way.
I know, right? But it is. It's the way it works. 25 years old. That's when you can rent a car with just your signature.
For some reason. Yeah. Oh no, 26 is the last year when you can't be on your parents' health insurance anymore.
Yes.
I haven't been on that shit since I was 18. But anyways, yeah. No, so like that's the thing. It's like, all right, if 18 is the age of consent, you can do anything with your body that you please. You can go out, get a tattoo, a piercing.
Yep.
Buy a lottery ticket. You can still fucking gamble. Like,
oh yeah,
gambling's addicting. Come on.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think it's just a stupid law where these politicians, quite frankly, didn't know what the fuck to do, and they just said, "Here, we're doing this," and slapping a Band-Aid on it.
Literally took
praise
the
us.
words out of my mouth.
Yep.
It was a flex for recognition. That's all it was.
Yep.
You raising that limit, I don't think is going to have any significant impact. Now, if it does and I stand corrected, then I'll admit that I'm wrong. Like fuck, cool, that's awesome because I do want less people to start smoking.
This isn't a hill I'm willing to die on,
No,
but I have a good fucking feeling I'm
that
right.
It's not going to fucking change.
I mean, here's the thing, and I'm going to be really crucial here. If you're a parent and you can't stop your kid from fucking smoking cigarettes, then don't blame your government. Don't have your government parent your children. I think that's the worst fucking thing you could ever do. I mean,
so I support you in that statement. Besides, if you want to do something about smoking as the government, stop fucking making cigarettes.
Yeah, ban cigarettes.
Outlaw cigarettes, because I get it. Like, and don't get me wrong, I would be kind of pissed, like, if you got rid of all the nicotine products. But the bottom line is that, and I know why they won't do that. One, because the tobacco companies are way too big. They have their hands in too many pots of money right now.
Yep.
But two, it just leads us into that other vaping product like fiasco where, THC cartridges, they're so expensive when they're FDA regulated. So people don't want to pay that price. So they go to the black market, like sources.
Yeah.
Because it's
like
cheaper.
Silk Road, those illegal black market websites.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's exactly what would happen to cigarettes.
Didn't they shut down Silk Road?
Dude,
I heard
it's been
they
shut
did.
down and reopened so many times. Who knows?
I mean,
don't know.
then you also have you have the gray market then too, which is it's not the black market, but it's just like, I mean, you can find like product license keys on there for like Windows 10. You have people that'll buy like 290 license keys for Windows 10, and then they have like a rating system on there, but they'll sell a license key to you for like $20, and then you have full access to like Windows 10, like a $200 operating system. But that's a whole other thing. But so I think in a perfect world where that whole black market scenario didn't exist, you should just get rid of cigarettes, and people are going to lose their fucking minds initially. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to force people to quit, and it's going to, prohibit people from ever getting addicted again. But we all know we don't live in that perfect world. And I think the exact same scenario would happen if we did outlaw the cigarettes or any nicotine-based thing entirely. There would always be that black market supply. And I think we'd start seeing the same kind of shit where, like, people are dying, or people dying, getting sick, getting diseases from buying these black market cigarettes. So it's just like, it sucks. Like, it's the right thing to do, but people's wants and needs and addiction, you're gonna find it. You're gonna replace it with something, or you're gonna take the risk.
See, I kind of teeter on a ban, because it's one of those things where people make the same argument with marijuana all the time, that it's just a plant. How can it be illegal? At the end of the day, tobacco is just a plant, and I really don't think that it should be illegal either. I think it would do a lot of good for people. It's proven that cigarettes, tobacco, everything causes cancer in one way or another.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, you should be a fucking adult and make the right decision. And unfortunately, I didn't. I was an idiot because I was 15 years old. But here's the thing. The government, and just to kind of get back to the topic here, the government raising the age of 21 years old isn't going to stop your 15-year-old son from trying to impress a girl and smoking a cigarette and then getting addicted.
Nope.
That's not going to stop him. It's just, and if you believe that, you're an idiot. And honestly, you're probably a bad parent. And I got to be honest about it.
No, I mean, you're right, because it's your job as a parent that you should have addressed this way beforehand. So before they even get to that impressionable age where, like, you should especially do it if you're a smoker and the kid sees you smoking. You need to constantly be foot stomping, like, do as I say, not as I do, because like this is terrible. And like you need to explain to them, like, I do regret this decision. Like, I don't enjoy doing this. It's a struggle.
It's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done. But like that, most things that are the right things to do are easier said than done.
Yeah.
So you got to address that, and you got to really make sure your kid understands. Like, smoking is not cool. It does not matter what is said, who says it. It doesn't matter. Like I'm telling you, I promise you, your body, your health, everything. Yeah. It will thank you for not doing that.
And one thing I do want to clarify, because I was pretty harsh back there when I looked directly at the camera and said, maybe you're a bad parent. If your kids hide it from you and you have no idea, that's one thing. Look, we're all adults, and like I hid the fact that I smoked cigarettes from my parents till I was almost 21 years old.
Even though I was 21, I hid it from my parents.
Well, I hid it from my dad probably until I was about 21 years old. My mom found out around when I was like 18. But like, that's one thing. It's like, all right, you don't know, you can't do anything. Adults actually, parents, they have lives outside of work. They have their own drama. They have their own struggles. I get that. Don't take that personally if that's the situation. However, if you know your child is smoking or chewing or vaping, and you are trying to, you're telling them to stop and they're not, maybe it's time to bring some consequences down on them. And if that doesn't stop them, maybe some harder consequences. Maybe I think that's a little bit. I think that sounds completely rational.
Yeah.
Don't leave that up to the government. The government's not made to regulate your kids from smoking cigarettes. That's not what the government's there for.
Nope, not at all.
I don't want my fucking tax dollars going towards that. Not to sit here and sound like a fucking like libertarian snob, because I'm not a libertarian.
No.
That's one view that libertarians have. I think I agree with. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean,
I agree, and I do. Taxation is theft. Like,
I don't agree with that.
I kind of agree with it.
I work with government and municipalities a lot, and you work for the government. I get that, but I work with like local, state government municipalities and stuff like that all the time with work. We need them. We do. I think it could be handled better.
But I think it would be a lot better, and I know it'd be a big fucking deal, but like, I want to know what my tax dollars went to. I want to know how much of my, like, what individual dollar that my taxes were taken out of were spent on. Because as far as I can tell, you're literally just taking my money and it goes to wherever, and then I get out in my car that you tax me to buy, I have the highest fuel tax in the United States in to fill it up. Then you tax me and you regulate me getting it inspected and having an emissions certificate. And then you tax me for the roads that don't fucking work and break my car that you tax me to make sure is roadworthy. Fuck off, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and that's why I don't fully agree with the Commonwealth thing. That's a big problem with
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. We're a Commonwealth without any fucking common sense, and it's just look. We need the government. We do need small local government. That stuff
Yes.
is very important. But like, here's the thing with that. If you want to see what your dollars are going towards, congratulations, you're gonna be spending a lot more tax dollars because you're gonna have to pay somebody to do that job. For
That's trivial.
every single American
Trivial.
in this world.
You can get a computer system that does that. It's not. I'm not saying it's not an
Yes and
easy thing,
no.
but it's not a complex algorithm to create a coding system that could do that.
That's true.
Like at all. So I am totally for it. My whole reason for saying that is like, when was the last time you went to a like Giant or Arby's or anything and you gave them money and you either left with a product or B left with a receipt. So it's the same concept. I get a paycheck and I just see all this money disappearing. I personally am not seeing a product that it's going towards, or B, getting a receipt as to why it's being taken. Like, you know what I mean?
No, exactly.
So, and that's just all I want. If you can do that for me, maybe I'll be a little bit more okay with it. Like, it's just, yeah, I just see it all disappear, and then I don't even get nearly as much of it back at the end of the year, which I know you're not going to get all of it back ever, but I get like a fraction of what I get, and then my roads still have potholes, the plows, the snow removal still sucks, like everything. What are we doing?
That shit's fucking expensive, though. I mean, I was
Your
talking.
construction crews take fucking 2.5 years to finish a project. Like, it's insane.
See, here's the thing with me being ingrained in the construction field. There's a lot more that goes on that than meets the eye. But I mean, like, here's one thing that really opened my eyes to like local taxes. All right, local taxes really aren't that expensive, but you know, it is something that you pay every year. And like, all right, so I was working with a borough. Was it a borough? No, sorry, it was a township the other day. All right,
Okay.
They have about 100 miles worth of road that they're responsible for maintaining. All right. They spend $100,000 a year just on salt to treat the roads, and they said that's probably a little bit light. Just $100,000. That's 3 times the median. I'm sorry, not the median. 3 times the median household income in America. That's just for the salt to treat the road. That's
But I mean, when you present it like
$100,000.
that, it sounds big, but without the context of how many people are paying into that, I can't really say that sounds like crazy, because like if you say, you know, they're spending $100,000 on just salt, but you have like, you know, a couple. I would even say, what if you even had like, you know, 10,000, 20,000 people in there, and they're all getting taxed a couple $100 every single paycheck? That's really not that big of a number to me.
Well,
that doesn't blow my mind.
Yeah, but think about this. You have to have a machine that costs $100,000 to manipulate that salt, to load it into trucks, to push it into piles. On top of that, you have to have an $8,000 plow on the front of each and every single one of your $30,000 truck sitting there. You know, those are all costs. These guys, they get significant discounts everywhere they buy stuff. They all get government discounts everywhere they go, and it still costs that much money. You know,
I get it, but it's like at the same time though, if you have a flawed system, if you have a flawed program, fix it.
Yeah.
Like, and that doesn't mean, okay, well then we just take even more money out of you. No, that 100 miles of road is still 100 miles. And that's not increasing. That you have a problem. You have a single point of failure, or you have a bunch of limiting factors. Like, address those limiting factors, address those single points of failure, instead of just making the same excuses every time and we just get the same results every time.
Well, yeah, and take that same attitude and put it towards the cigarette thing. You know, it's like, all right, we have 2 options. Let's say option number 1 is raising the smoking age to 21 years old, which is fucking stupid. I've already voiced that.
Yep.
Or heavy consequences on the teens getting caught smoking. So if you're 16 years old and you get caught smoking a cigarette, it's a mandatory 20 hours of community service.
I agree. I think it needs to be something super traumatic.
And they gotta be hard on it too.
Yeah, it's got to be something that is going to like absolutely wreck them in the moment, but it's not damaging permanently for their life or anything. You know what I mean? So like community service, you get caught with cigarettes, you got to do 20, 40 hours of community service, and it's like at the worst fucking times like of the day.
Yep.
You know, you got to wake up you have school at 7, now, you know what? Because that still affects them permanently because that affects their education. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to think of something where it definitely, truly affects them.
I think community service is the best thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to find them either because their kids that probably don't have money. Maybe their parents don't have money either. You know, and it's not fair to a parent that their kid smoked a cigarette and now they got to pay the government $250.
Yep,
You know, or something
100%.
like that. Community service is the perfect thing, but like make it fucking suck for them. So they don't do it. You know?
Like you have to go out and help the fucking trash guys on their routes and help them literally take the trash.
Yeah.
Like I personally would not want to do that, like at all.
Yeah.
Like do shit like that. Or you got to go help do snow removal during the wintertime and everything. It's like, it's got to be something that is harsh, heavy, and swift justice, but is not permanently damaged. It doesn't ruin their life. I don't want you to get like shit tons of fucking
just has
fines.
to suck so that way they never want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. They would not want to risk that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Chris, how old were you when you started smoking?
Dude, like 15, 16, something like that. And too young.
Is it just me though, or is that like the general age? I think everybody starts.
That's the age I heard my parents even talking about too.
Yeah, I think it is.
I feel like I know more people who started smoking under 18 than started smoking above 18.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
What do you think?
I would agree with that. Yeah,
and which is a problem.
Yeah,
it is a problem. Like I wish I would have never started smoking, and all right, I quit for like 2 years over the holidays. I kind of picked it up a little bit, and I'm quitting again right now in the process of it.
I've been a couple months without a cigarette.
Yeah,
I'm keeping it that way. I have no desire to go back to cigarettes at all, which is nice. Like I said, I suck. I hate that I'm on the vape train, but I am, and it is keeping me from smoking the actual cigarettes. And that's another thing I'll just address real quick too. You know what? People are like, oh, you know what? It's just as bad as cigarettes. Honestly, maybe. I don't know, because we do know what is in cigarettes, and we know there's like at least there's 200 ingredients in there, and there's ingredients that aren't even listed that are used in cigarettes that aren't even listed, and how many of them are carcinogens? It's insane. There's only 3 to 4 ingredients when it comes to vape juice. Yeah,
it's mostly just propylene glycol, vegetable glycerine, nicotine, and then your added flavor.
Exactly.
That's but what you're using is salt, Nick. It's a little bit different.
Yes, but now, am I going to be surprised in 10 years when they do all these studies and they see how that vapor in our lungs affects us, and they're like, oh yeah, it's not as bad as cigarettes, but it still fucked you. No, I'm not going to be surprised. I fully expect that, because honestly, your lungs are only supposed to intake oxygen. That's it. Yeah. So there's definitely still stuff that we're going to learn. I'm not going to even try to be like, no, it's perfectly healthy. No, the fuck it's not. If you're doing anything other than breathing, it's not healthy for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Everybody always said that, those are just bad cigarettes for you. Great. At the end of the day, I don't smell like an ashtray.
Exactly. You know what? And
my breath smells better.
Yep. Exactly. My teeth aren't yellow.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay. I choose the vape.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm super disappointed that vaping got such a douchey name to it, because and it kind of hurts me to admit this, but I mean, I hopped on the vape train whenever that shit first came out. Whenever like the mech mods came out, where people were building their own coils. Yep. I almost started my own company back in 2015 because I was building my own actual mods, and I mean, people were all giving me stupid offers for them. I still get offers when I show people the first one I ever built. If I show it to somebody who owns a vape shop or something, for instance. Yeah. And it just sucks that that got such a negative connotation to it so fast, because it was actually a really neat, interesting thing to me, because to me, blowing clouds and all that stuff that everybody always says, that shit never interested me the way that everybody makes it sound. Whenever vaping came out and I learned about it, I was like, wow, this sounds like a really neat way to quit smoking cigarettes.
Yep.
It's something new. Oh, I can get flavors. That's awesome. Mind you, I was 18 years old when I was doing this. Well, I was actually 20 years old. But yeah, and all of a sudden, all these douchebags got in there. And I mean, dude, the community got douchey, because I was, like I said, in the process of starting my own business. I made a couple of mods, and I was being added into private vape groups, as fucking stupid as that sounds.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember I was a part of a group one time, and these guys were literally the biggest douchebags. It was a one-stop shop for everything you wanted. I mean, if you wanted to build your own mod, they had models, specs, everything you needed on there. And I was learning how to build a triple series mod, if anybody knows anything about, electronics or
idea.
anything. A triple series mod is just basically a 3-battery mod that runs in series, so all the power is going in at once. It's
okay.
So it's just a way to get a lot of power into it
Yep.
at one time. It was like just a cool project, something I wanted to work on. And I remember like looking for an hour through all of their PDFs on all their spreadsheets and build specs. I could not find this one. Everybody, like numerous people had told me, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's in the script. You have to find it there." I literally posted on there and was like, "Hey guys, I'm having a hard time finding this one right here. Can somebody point me in the right direction or maybe drop a link?" That was literally all I said. One of my buddies messaged me. He goes, "Yo, delete your post right now. Here's the link." And before I could go back and even delete the post, like 4 people had already commented on it. They were just like, "Oh, what kind of fucking idiot's this guy? Blah, blah, blah. Don't you have fucking eyes? Blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do we have to attack everybody?
It's so I agree with you. I was so hyped about vaping for the exact same reason. It is at concept, it's an awesome
concept was cool, yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, it's replacing cigarettes, but that's what it was. It was people taking something that was meant, to help you quit smoking, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna make it better." And the problem with vaping, making it bigger and making it better, makes it bigger and more obnoxious.
Yeah.
And the people that don't vape, the people that don't smoke cigarettes, well, where the problem inlaid was, oh, you can't smoke here. When all this first came out, all the rules, all the regulations were for smoking cigarettes in places. So you had people walking around like Walmart
Going
and
through
shit,
Walmart and just fucking
ripping
shit.
clouds.
Yeah.
And it's like, and
people
that's
were doing it in movie theaters. You know?
Yep, and that's the shit that ruined like the progress that it could have had, and like you said, the kind of welcoming that it could have had, where not being douchey, it being like, wow, like if anything, good for you, like for not smoking cigarettes. I wish that's the kind of connotation it had.
Yeah, and like in every single situation I'd ever encountered, aside from the one I just talked about in that group and everything like that, every single like quote unquote vape douche I ever met knew fucking nothing. The dude was an idiot that acted like he knew shit, and those guys were my favorite because I would, be in the vape
every
shop grabbing
single
juice.
one had a drip mod.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I did too. I built those.
Yeah.
Like that was what I did. Like I was gonna start my own business, so I would like walk into a shop and just be chatting with these guys, and then you just see people like, "Oh, what's that thing you got in your hand over there? Ha ha ha! I got the brand new Smoke Cubex 2, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh great, yeah, I left that one at home because I just fucking built my own."
Yeah.
And like you would just shit on those people, and it's just, it goes with anything. I mean, you can take that same aspect and you can put it into music, you can put it into anything. You're always gonna have those douchebags that act like they're cooler than they are, but that was something that I'm still a little bit upset to see that it got turned into such a negative thing.
Agreed.
So fast.
I think the bottom line, to get to the moral of like this conversation, is
yeah, we're running out of time here, but
look, raising the legal age, it's not going to do anything.
No.
If this is something that you actually want to tackle, then we all need to come back to the drawing board. We all, as a community, we need to sit down. We need to have an actual conversation and figure out what it is that we want to do. What are the avenues that we have?
Yeah.
What are the resources that we have to achieve these objectives then? Because literally just raising the legal smoking age to 21 is not going to do anything at all.
No,
they're
it's
going to
not.
get their cigarettes, and I don't understand how it even passed when we were having that whole unregulated THC cartridge like fiasco, because they had the vitamin E acetate in it, and that was causing the lung disease. That just happened, and it was like about like a week or 2 weeks later, they're like, "Oh, we raised the legal smoking age to 21." I'm like, you literally just had something all over the news that proved that doing something like that, or just even making it FDA regulated because it costs, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything.
I think what pisses me off the most is that they've all been calling it a teen vaping epidemic, when meanwhile we've had an actual heroin epidemic going on, and
nobody wants to
talk about that. But yet everywhere you go, Twitter, Snapchat, you always see Juul, the teen vaping epidemic, blah blah blah.
There's fucking attorney commercials on TV now
all
where
the time.
It's like, oh, were you a teen that got lung disease or popcorn lung or created an addiction or had nicotine poisoning because you were juuling? And I'm like, it's called vaping for one. Juul is a brand. Yeah. Who made this commercial?
It's fucking stupid. Oh my God. I really hope this makes it
call
to
Metzger
somebody in the
Wickersham,
government, and you guys are all fucking idiots. So,
but
it's
insane.
It
so
is.
I think our third subject kind of wrapped up to our final subject because we started ranting
we did.
about this for sure.
Yeah,
so I think we
did.
really kind of like closed this out like the way we wanted to.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was a really good time, and I'm really excited to be back at this, guys. And I mean, stay tuned for more stuff like this, more guests, more conversations with more people about more exciting, more, I wouldn't really call that extremely controversial, but more, more controversial things to come.
Oh yeah, we definitely we will not shy away from talking about controversial topics.
Yeah, I mean, well, like to a certain extent, So, I don't want to get too deep into like politics and all that bullshit. I want this to be, something where it's more fun to listen to. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But so I just want to make sure I'm correct, right? We officially have an email now, don't we?
We do, yes. So we have. All right. So our email is darkerwithdaniel@gmail.com. If you or somebody is interested in being a guest, the only way you have a shot at that is to email us at darkerwithdaniel@gmail.com.
Got the 5 W's.
Yep.
Who, what, when, where, and why.
Exactly. We would love to have everybody on here, but as a courtesy to our viewers, good content's good content, and we just want to have a who, what, when, where, and why. Not only just to further good content, but also just tell us a little bit about yourself. We're interested.
Yeah,
we want to know
for sure. And we have the Facebook now. We have Instagram
Facebook
coming.
Yep.
Snapchat. And then I think these are going to go on YouTube now, aren't they?
Yeah, this is going to be on YouTube. So, I mean, you're probably watching it here right now on YouTube. And honestly, by the time this gets uploaded, all of our social media will be up.
That's true.
Twitter,
Yeah,
Facebook,
you're right.
Instagram. Yeah.
Smash those like buttons. Subscribe, bitch.
Yeah.
I always wanted to say that.
Seriously, please, if you can subscribe, share it with a friend or family member, somebody you think that would enjoy this. It would mean the world to us. So
for sure.
Yeah. All right, Chris. Any you guys have anything else you want to bring up real quick before we go? Or
no
I'm
closing.
All right, guys. Well, this was a hell of a week, and thank you so much for sticking through us. I know some of you have known about this going on for a little while. It's been a little while, just waiting to see what's going to happen, and well, here it is. We're excited to bring it to you, and we'll see you next week.